The French philosopher René Descartes is said to have stated, "I think, therefore I am." But he never did define the "I am." Who are you? What are you? Why are you? Many people believe that thoughts become things, but Messenger Elijah Muhammad and Master Fard Muhammad revealed thoughts are things. Thoughts are things in a mental and physical reality. Many people don't realize this, but this is why we say that thoughts travel. Thoughts could not travel if they were not a thing. So thoughts do not become things. Thoughts are things. They travel 24 billion miles per second. By definition, a thought is a mental process that involves the creation and manipulation of ideas, concepts, or images in the mind. It can include reasoning, reflection, problem solving, and even daydreaming. Thoughts arise from our brain's cognitive functions and can be influenced by our emotions, experiences, and external stimuli. They play a key role in how we understand and interact with the universe, covering 238 quintillion, 640 quadrillion miles. Let us look at how thoughts help and harm us. Close your eyes to see. Imagine the entire visibility of the universe being removed. There are no planets, no moons, no stars, including our sun. There's no moons. There's no people. There's no life. There's no light. There's no atoms. There's no anything. This is how the Creator had to begin creation. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us when it was, no one knows. However, the fact that we have the entire universe of life today takes away the impossibility. The mathematics of reality shows and proves to us that there can be no impossibility in our universe. The God explained, how could this or that be impossible when we say that once upon a time the universe did not exist, and today we live in a universe that exists? Thoughts help us if we're not spooky, but thoughts harm us if we're spooky. And by spooky, I mean if we underestimate and doubt, if we fear, if we're running around the planet underestimating our own self-worth, our own ability, if we underestimate and doubt ourselves. It makes no difference if you believe in Jesus or Krishna or Allah or some spook god. If you don't believe in yourself, if you're not doing for yourself, your prayers will never get answered because they're operating contrary to universal law. Thoughts do not become things, thoughts are things. You do not get healthy unless you think healthy. You don't get money unless you realize you are money. Think money. You don't get love unless you think love. Everything in the universe is mental, then it becomes material. That mathematical manifestation is just the mental slowing down its vibration and manifesting itself on the material realm. But the money was always there. The good health, the peace was always there. Whatever you want, you are the real genie within and without. You make it happen. Using the law of polarity, the spooky people is going to try to make the non-spooky people underestimate and doubt themselves. See, the spooky people want the non-spooky people to become spooky, and the non-spooky people want the spooky people to get rid of all that spookiness. And this is the struggle in the entire universe between the forces of truth and falsehood, good and evil, darkness and light, righteousness and wickedness, God and the devil, the angels and the demons, the haves and the have-nots. It's all relative. The spooky people think that some people should be poor and some people should be rich. That it's a tug of war between the haves and the have-nots. The universe frowns upon such spooky stuff. In reality, everyone that is rich is also poor. Everyone that's poor is also rich. You cannot have wealth without poverty, and you can't have poverty without wealth. You cannot have life without death. You cannot have a male without a female. You cannot have freedom without oppression. You cannot have light without darkness. This is the reality of the universe in which we live. When we see rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, we think some mystery God is causing all these things. We see the physical and not understand that the physical is nothing but a manifestation of the mental. Everything is mind. Everything is mathematics. Every effect has to have a cause. And that cause goes right back to me and you. In general, thoughts help and harm us because of the universal law of polarity. The law of polarity basically teaches us that opposites attract and like repels. Everything in the universe is dual. If you look at the human brain, you notice that it's split into two separate hemispheres, the left and the right. Many neurologists look at the dominant and recessive aspects of the human brain in the different regions. And while the brain operates holistically, just like the universe operates holistically, there is a dominant left side that deals basically with the sciences of life, objective reality. And the right side deals with colors and music and spirituality, basically. But they balance each other out. One could not exist without the other. So it is with the universe itself. On a micro as well as macro level, when we study the universe from the smallest parts of the universe, we're talking the idea, the thoughts, the quarks, the protons. We're talking the positive forces and the negative forces and the neutral forces of our universe. We're looking at a universe that has darkness and light, a universe that is freezing cold but blazingly hot, a universe that is infinitely old but brand new, a universe that is so small but so large, a universe that is here and there at the same time, young and old. This is the mathematics of everything. Everything has a dual purpose, the yin and the yang, the Ife, the I Ching, whatever nomenclature or scientific terminology you want to use. We see that thoughts that help must also harm. Thoughts that harm must also help. How we interpret and feel and act upon this internal and external stimuli will result in our success or our failure, of our love and our hate. So we, as sentient universal beings, as the actual gods and goddesses in person, meaning that human beings on this tiny, tiny, tiny planet known as Earth are the highest known forces of intellect in the entire universe. This does not mean that there are not unknown factors. Using the law of polarity, if we know, we also do not know. So when we study the universe, we just simply cannot find any life form superior than that which is on Earth. That does not mean that people don't believe that there are civilizations out there somewhere superior to Earth, but to date, no one has shown and proved it. They may teach on it, they may have theories, they may believe it, but no one can bring you any creature or anything anywhere. I mean, they could dive in the ocean and, they can study sea creatures. They can't bring you a sea creature superior than a human being. They cannot go in the jungle. They cannot go in the desert. They cannot get a tree or insect or a bird of the air. They can't get a lion or a tiger. They can't get a dog or a cat. No matter how big or how fancy or how young or old that brain may be, they cannot show you a brain that thinks greater than the human being. Some people believe in nothing. They believe that the creator is nothing, unseen, a mystery God. And they believe that this mystery God knows everything, knows more than them. That this mystery God produced them rather than that mystery God being a mere figment of their imagination, a mere thought made manifest in the form of a Torah or Bible or Quran or Septuagint or Vulgate or some metanet or hieroglyphics or what have you. Human beings can write down their ideas on pieces of leather, parchment. They can carve them into stone. However, human beings cannot find anything greater than human beings but other human beings. This is why human beings allow their thoughts to help as well as harm them. The way the brain operates the way we make it operate. If we don't realize that thoughts are things, then we'll believe that nothing is going to do something. And since we can't bring our actions up to par with our thinking, we simply don't do anything. We don't manifest anything because we're spooky in our concept. We have a misunderstanding of the reality in which we live. There is no mystery God above you or under you or in back of you or in front of you. The human brain may believe that there is some mystery God that's going to come judge it someday. Not today, maybe tomorrow, or the day after, or maybe in the next lifetime, or maybe from a past lifetime. But these beliefs should not be confused with knowledge. The brain believes some things, the brain knows some things, but there's a difference between what the brain believes and what the brain knows. And we often confuse the two. And we think that which we believe is that which we know. So we become dogmatic in our position and we will argue our lack of knowledge as though it is knowledge. That's ignorance. When the brain helps us, it helps us because we're using positive energy made manifest. But that positive energy is just using the law of vibration, and it also contains a negative energy. If there's a God, there must be a devil. If you're going to heaven, that means you was in hell. If you're going to die, that means at some point you was alive. You would not know that you went to heaven if you was not in hell. So there is nothing spooky in reality. Reality is reality. It deals with the protons and the electrons, the positive forces and the negative forces, the angels and the demons, the gods and the devils. It does not discriminate. God is not a respecter of persons. Many people think that if they had a little cute little puppy and that little cute little puppy ran out into the street with cars zooming by in high traffic, that some mystery god, the universe, some kind of be like, oh, look at the little cute puppy, oh, spirit, and the wind will blow and push the little cute little puppy out the way in spirit. No. Cause and effect does not respect whether it's cute or ugly, whether it's righteous or wicked, whether it's black or white. It respects mathematics, the frequency that it is operating on, the law of mathematics. How far is it going? How fast is it going? Is it observing? How these cars that's moving, how are they moving? The person driving the cars, they observe. It's just so many variables in mathematics in our universe that we just simply say that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. Everything is real. Thoughts do not become things. Remember, family, thoughts are things. We make and unmake ourselves. The messenger asked the Savior, how can we bring in this new world? And he explained to him, in order to bring in the new, you have to get rid of the old. You have to transform the old to such a high vibration that it looks brand new. You have to get rid of the old ideas, the old concepts, the old spookism that's in the minds of the masses, and have them start thinking on a higher vibration. This is going on today, my friends. Many of the old spooky doctrines taught by organized religions around the face of the planet Earth for the past 6,000 years are being transformed to a new way of interpretation, a new way of practicing and explaining. So when you hear people teaching from the Bible today, it's not the old spooky ghosts and talking snakes and fire and brimstone under the core of the earth and things of that nature there. They're speaking more practical, more natural, more scientific, more in tune with the laws of logic and reality. It's the same thing with the Holy Quran and the Torah or what have you. If your thoughts or your concepts or your ideas and your traditions and your rituals and your signs and your symbols are not helping us, it's hurting us. The struggle continues.